Hey guys, what's good? It's Ahmed. Welcome to Ahmed's Voice Digital Journal. Make sure you following me at ahmedsvoice.com or at ahmedsvoice.substack.com. You can also find me anywhere on social media at Ahmed's Voice. That includes YouTube. Today in the journal, I want to talk about a movie that we just watched last weekend called The Rip. I have really been looking forward to watching that. Again, it is called The Rip, R-I-P. It is on Netflix. It is a movie that is produced and stars, produced by and stars Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Again, other notable stars in the movie along with Damon and Affleck. You have Stephen Yeun, Tiana Taylor, also Kyle Chandler, another great actor that I like. Just a great cast, right? I've been looking forward to this movie. It is a crime suspense thriller. It really drew me into the movie. Of course, anything pretty much with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in it together or working on it together, I'm interested in. I am going to check it out. But also, it is my type of movie. Again, it is a crime movie, suspense thriller. A lot of heavy action with basically revolves around a narcotics team or cash and narcotics team in Miami. Great trailer, great marketing around the movie. I have to be honest with you, I was disappointed in the execution of the movie. Cinematography is great. The movie looks good. The acting is not bad at all. Like the movie looks good. It is compelling. But I think it falls short as far as it gets down the road. It does telegraph what's going to happen a little bit, and the big plot twist, you see it coming. Like it is literally telegraphed to you. You're hoping there's a little bit more of a twist, but there's not. I'll still check it out if you want to. You might like it. I was just a little disappointed in how they told the story. The reason I'm doing this video about the movie, though, is I do believe that the marketing leading up to the movie was actually better than the movie. And I'm not really just talking about the trailers and the marketing materials. I'm talking about the press junket, the press tour that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck went on. They went on went on numerous podcasts. I think the best podcast that they went on was, of course, what would it be? It would be the Joe Rogan podcast. It's about a 2-hour episode. This is episode 2440. You can check it out on YouTube or Spotify. A couple of notable things, and the reason I'm talking about especially that podcast is because Ben Affleck and Matt Damon really went into a little bit of behind the scenes with Netflix as far as producing with Netflix, working with Netflix, and of course the notes that they would get from Netflix about the movie. Now, of course, if you've been paying attention to what's going on with the trials and tribulations of Hollywood, and you're looking at what's going on between Netflix and Warner Brothers and Skydance, with Netflix and Skydance trying to buy Warner Brothers, and people being concerned with what Netflix is going to do if they get Warner Brothers, because that gives them control of the biggest movie theaters. Netflix being primarily a streaming platform, what is Netflix going to do? What is that? How is that going to affect how long movies stay in the actual theaters? If Netflix takes control of Warner Brothers, what are going to be the quality of movies? How is Netflix going to treat motion pictures and the theater business? I think what really interested me, especially in the Joe Rogan podcast, again, episode 2440, with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck talking about the notes that Netflix would give them in a movie. Netflix is coming and looking at producing a movie from the perspective that people are watching streaming movies at home. So Netflix is coming in, giving their notes and their direction and their suggestions about how movies should be produced, with the assumption that people are at home, they're distracted, mainly they're going to be in their phones or tablets, on their devices. And kind of Matt Damon was mentioning how that Netflix was kind of telling them you're going to have to provide more exposition. You're going to have to give more hints. You're going to have to lead the audience along. You are going to have to spell things out for the audience because they're going to be distracted at home. Um, it's just crazy to me. When I'm watching a movie, I'm watching a movie. I'm not in my phone. I really like movies that are going to tell me a story. I like movies that I have to pay attention to. I want to know the details. I want to hear the dialogue. I want to be in suspense. I don't want too much exposition. I don't want the plot spelled out for me. I don't want to see the plot twist coming. I've watched too many movies. I can almost always see them coming anyway. I definitely don't want the producers and director of a movie telegraphing the plot twist that's coming to me. But Matt Damon was kind of speaking to how that was pretty much what Netflix notes were for them producing this movie, and how they are giving notes to most of their movies that are produced on Netflix. Even Joe Rogan was talking about, I think he was talking about Kill Tony, that I think is having some episodes on Netflix. And he was saying even in that comedic realm, for specials being filmed for Netflix like Kill Tony, that Netflix was doing the same thing to them production wise. Like, hey, most of this audience is going to be on their cell phones. They're at home. You're going to have to do things a little different. You're going to do things differently to catch their attention span. So I thought that was very enlightening, especially, like I said, looking at the fact that Netflix is making more motion pictures, that they are in this bid to buy Warner Brothers. They are going to be in control of a lot of movies. They are going to be in control of what the theatrical window is as far as how long movies stay in the theaters. So I thought this was a really, really compelling conversation that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were having with Joe Rogan around that part of the business. Another very compelling part that they were mentioning was that Netflix is going to be paying out or giving bonuses depending on how that movie does in the future. So there's no shorting on the front end. People are getting paid what they're supposed to get paid, but there is supposed to be payout on the other end if the movie does really good. Now you're like, well, it's not streaming. How good can it do? And that's what most people are thinking until, wait for it, K-pop Demon Hunters, right? I can't tell you how many times I've watched K-pop Demon Hunters. It's a great movie. But my youngest daughter, like, yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. I have songs stuck in my head that I shouldn't know. And so that is where, that's what's enticing. And that's not just for the actors, that's for everybody working on the production. If the movie does good or reach certain milestones or does better than expected, they're going to get additional payout on top of what they've already made for working on the movie. So I thought that was another very compelling point. So I suggest that if you really want to hear a really good conversation by two very established actors and producers about what it's like to produce a movie on Netflix, they're being very forthright, very honest. I don't know how much of that forthrightness and honesty was to let you know this is what happened with their movie, because even though Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are saying that did not happen with their movie, what he was saying about Netflix providing the notes seems like exactly what happened with The Rip. It just seemed like a lot of exposition, too much exposition, too much foreshadowing. Once the plot twist that was supposed to hit came, they had already told you it was coming. There was no surprise. There was nothing. Again, movie looks great. It's shot well. All the acting is good. Couple of great over-the-top action scenes. Again, I really like crime thrillers. I like tactical movies. I think they could have been a little better in some of the tactical scenes, but the movie looked good. The movie sounded good. Everybody looked the parts. I just think that in that conversation with Joe Rogan, even though they were saying that wasn't the case with their movie, I think they were saying that was the case with their movie. Another great point from this interview, and what I will do in the description page, if you are watching this, or if you're watching this on YouTube or on Spotify, or you're listening to this on Spotify, if you go to the Substack page for this podcast, I will have a video link for the whole podcast with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon with Joe Rogan. Again, episode 2440. But I'll also find a clip referencing Ben Affleck's take on AI. Lately, we've heard so much about AI, so much fear in Hollywood about what AI is going to do to artists, to actors, to film production, to CGI. I think Ben Affleck makes a great point to the limitations of what AI is going to be able to do. I also think he makes a great point in saying that a lot of what we're hearing about how much AI, how many jobs AI is going to take and everything that it's going to do, I think is a way for them to fundraise and get a lot of investment. I don't think so much of what they're saying is going to happen. I think most of what AI is going to do for us as a society is going to be on a whole nother realm of surveillance and things that I don't want to get into this episode of the podcast. I'll talk about that on another podcast. But I think Ben Affleck probably has one of the most sobering and realistic takes on what AI is going to do or not do in the entertainment industry, and I really think you ought to check it out. So again, navigate to the Substack page if you're not there. There I will have a link to the full Joe Rogan video. I'll post the whole interview there, and I'll also post a subsection of that clip of Ben Affleck talking about what AI is realistically going to do with the movie industry. But again, The Rip, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to rush and go watch it. If you like Ben Affleck, if you like Matt Damon, if you like what they do, go ahead and check it out. Again, Tiana Taylor's in this movie. There's a whole lot of other great actors that you'll recognize in this movie. Again, the movie looks good. It looks great. Cinematography, no complaints. I just think they just telegraphed a lot of the movie, too much exposition to set it up, and you weren't surprised when it came to the end. But anyway, that's The Rip. It is on Netflix, again, produced by and starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It is also a Netflix production. Check it out. I'll link everything on the description page here on the Substack. Again, follow me at ahmedsvoice.com. That's the main place that links to everything else. Follow me on social media at Ahmed's Voice, and on YouTube at Ahmed's Voice. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I will talk to you again soon. My name is Ahmed, Ahmed's Voice. Real person, real thoughts, real voice. Peace.